We will try our hardest, search until every limit has been exhausted to try to find these poor people and bring them home to their families.
A search by water and air this morning and overnight includes U.S. Coast Guard vessels, a helicopter, and an airplane for 4 people who are missing in waters west of Homer after the Coast Guard says they received a mayday call at about 7 last night for a 28-foot aluminum boat that was taking on water and capsized. The U.S. Coast Guard says there are 4 people missing in the water about 14 nautical miles west of the Homer Spit, and say 4 people have already been rescued. Coast Guard vessels search for the missing boaters overnight by air, by plane and helicopter, and by boat. And those air searches continued this morning. That search includes by a C-130, a helicopter, and multiple boats, including a Coast Guard cutter. The missing people include 2 adults and 2 children.
Anytime the Coast Guard hears that there's potentially people in the water, we take it very seriously. Alaska has a very, very cold water temperature, and we aim to respond as quickly as possible to those types of cases. The Coast Guard has continued its search. It has a established timeline of survivability. It's dependent on a lot of things, such as sea state, water temperature, visibility conditions. There's a lot that goes into it that our command centers work really, really hard on to get the right calculations for. And as of right now, we have not suspended the search.
The U.S. Coast Guard says they know who they're looking for, as those who remain missing have been identified internally. As the Coast Guard continues their search, you can download the Alaska News Source app and check our website for this developing breaking news at alaskasnewssource.com. State troopers say a plane flipped on its roof upon landing yesterday afternoon in Wasilla. AST says wildlife troopers responded to the crash at about 12:30 at the Goose Bay Airport, where they say a Piper PA-18 Super Cub had flipped. Troopers say the pilot and passengers weren't significantly hurt, and that was a pilot and a passenger. The plane was removed from the airstrip, and the FAA and NTSB were notified. AST is thanking multiple agencies and pilots in the area for their fast and effective response to that crash scene. Troopers also investigating a head-on crash near mile 297 of the Richardson Highway. AST says a trailer came unattached and struck a vehicle head-on, causing a vehicle to go into a ditch at about 1 this afternoon in Delta Junction. 1 person was taken to the hospital with possible injuries. There was also another head-on crash reported by AST when the driver of an SUV was taken to a Ketchikan area hospital Thursday afternoon in a collision with a commercial vehicle. Troopers say they were alerted of the crash at 3:28 p.m. on the North Tongass Highway near mile 7.5. AST says a preliminary investigation shows the SUV crossing into oncoming traffic and striking a commercial vehicle head-on. Troopers say no one was killed and alcohol was not a factor in that crash, as it remains under investigation. And last year, the city of Juneau saw catastrophic flooding of the Mendenhall River that demolished homes following glacial dam flooding. Today, the city sending out a press release saying that the Suicide Basin is beginning to release warning residents to avoid the Mendenhall River area. Olivia Nordyke has been closely monitoring the situation and joins us now with the very latest from Juneau. Olivia.
Juneau city officials said as of right now, they don't know the scale of potential flooding, but are warning residents to be cautious. The video you're seeing now are the effects of last summer's Suicide Basin release, which pulled homes beside the river right into the Mendenhall River. The full effects the full effects of the basin release are projected to occur over the next 2 days, according to the National Weather Service. Emergency Programs Manager Tom Matisse said in a phone interview, riverbanks are going to be incredibly weak. Residents need to stay away from flood zones and pack bags in case an emergency evacuation notice is issued. Matisse says while there is uncertainty of the severity, it's far easier to take precaution before potential incoming floods instead of repairing damage.
What we need to understand is that last year we got hit by surprise with an event that was larger than ever, and it was underestimated. The cost of doing nothing could be incredible, but the cost of mitigation is time and effort, and at the end of the day, hopefully you've protected your loss.
An official evacuation for Juneau has not been issued as of right now, but updates will be posted to juneau.org, and we'll continue to keep you updated at alaskasnewssource.com. Joe?
And as emergency officials monitor that potential for flooding in Juneau, we check in with meteorologist Christina Campbell for the first look at our forecast. Christina, what are the conditions looking like in Juneau right now?
Well, Joe, as Olivia mentioned earlier, the Suicide Basin began releasing water earlier this morning, and as a result, there has been a warning issued for the area in and around, all areas around the Mendenhall Visitor Center, the Mendenhall Campground, Skaters Cabin Road, Viewer Drive, locations below Backloop Bridge. Right now, as of last report, the Mendenhall River, the stage level of water was at 5.25 feet. Now, as a point of reference, flood stage is at 9 feet, but it's expected to crest sometime tomorrow morning at 15 feet near record values. And as a point of reference, that was about where it was last year. So it could be possibly another major flooding event. But for right now, the outburst flood forecast is based on the volume of water in the glacier dammed lake and the release rates based on previous events. And again, as I mentioned earlier, if it's anything like last year, it could be pretty potent there. In the meantime, if you live near or around the Mendenhall River or lake, you should stay alert and take action now to secure property and life. Right now, the areas that I mentioned earlier, near and around the Glacier Visitor Center, the Mendenhall Glacier Visitor Center Campground, Skaters Cabin Road, View Drive, and all areas around there. That warning is in effect until 4 p.m. on Tuesday. I'll be back with a look at the rest of the forecast because we also have some flood watches in effect for the South Central region, and I'll have all those details coming up.
Thank you so much, Christina. Tyler Lane has been following the story since the early hours of today, and he joins us now with the very latest.
Well, Joe, our phones, laptops, all of it has been buzzing since about 9 o'clock this morning. People across the state have been showing love and celebrating this historic feat. That backs up exactly what Faulkner told us here at Alaska's News Source in an interview leading up to the Olympic Games.
I think Alaska shaped my identity so much. Just my love for the outdoors, my resilience, my independence, my appreciation for community. I think all of that stemmed from Alaska. And when people ask me where I'm from, I have a ton of pride saying I'm from Alaska. The small town community, I feel like it never leaves you. The community is always there to support you and back you. And I really feel that.
Kristen, I had the chance to sit down with her at their kitchen table a couple of years ago, and we were talking about her career in cycling and how that had changed from going to school and pursuing finance. And she is one of the most humble, energetic, passionate people you'll ever come across. And so I know that the entire town of Homer is behind this, are so proud and so excited for the whole family.
And Faulkner's performance continues a trend we've seen from Alaska's athletes, with the Homer cyclist becoming the third woman from the last frontier to reach the top of the Olympic podium in the last 6 years. She joins Keegan Randall, who earned a gold in cross-country ski in 2018, while Lydia Jacoby soared to first in the women's 100-meter breaststroke swim event in 2021. And Faulkner's time in Paris is not yet done. She will also be in the qualifying event for the women's team pursuit event starting August 6th. Still time to cheer her on from right here in the 49th state. I'll have more on this in the late edition. Joe?
Thank you, Tyler, and we'll be right back after this. It was a doggone good time for the thousands who packed California Beach this weekend for the World Dog Surfing Championship. In tonight's Weekend Journal, John Ramus of our CBS station in San Francisco, he checked out the fierce four-legged competition on surfboards.
They came from all over to Lindemar Beach to catch a glimpse of a wonder of nature. Not the whales, although they were here too, but something even more amazing. Dogs on surfboards.
This is way better than what I was expecting. It's adorable. I was saying it's like the happiest place on earth.
The World Dog Surfing Competition was back in Pacifica. About 15 surfing canines showed up to compete for a title that no one really worried about.
For me, it's not competition. For me, it's just watching all the dogs surf.
There were 4 divisions: small, medium, large, and extra large, which included Rip and Rosie. Her owner, Steve Drotter, is a lifelong surfer who says Rosie lives to be out on the waves with her buddy.
There's not that many people that actually get to surf with their dogs, and the people that do have such an amazing bond, and it's a gift.
I grab the surfboard, she starts crying like she wants to go. So ever since then, it's just been like, all right, you're the surfer in the family.
The competition has judges, and they insist there are things they actually evaluate.
Some do tricks, some, have costumes on, so it's a wide variety.
So basically, there are no standards. It's just whoever is the most fun to watch.
Whether we win or not, tomorrow morning, Rosie and I will be surfing at Pleasure Point together. So we win no matter what.
Few things in life bring more joy than having a dog. Yeah, but it seems like some dogs have more fun than others. John Ramos, CBS News, Pacifica, California.
All right, we probably can't top that, but still ahead on the news at 5, we're going to talk all about this beautiful weather and rainy weather on our way. It's the first weekend in August. I can see the sun outside our Midtown studios, so please, if you're watching our newscast, thank you, but get outside, enjoy the weather, and come back for the news at 10. For now, though, what does that beautiful forecast look like for us?
Well, we have it for the rest of the day. Enjoy it. Get out, even if it's for just a little walk. But enjoy that sunshine, pleasant temperatures. Rain moves in Tuesday through Thursday. But we start to clear up just in time for next weekend, at least the start of next weekend. And temperatures get just slightly cooler, back into the mid-60s.
We'll see you tonight at 10.